Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, Gemini, we have the Two of Wands tonight, which has everything to do with dominion. So this is like fire in its just highest form. I mean, if you want to change some things in your life, if you are like, I need to find something to get passionate about, when you have this energy, this is like full on. This is like you found that thing that you just are obsessed with, that you love. You want to do it all the time, every day, right? For some reason, I just thought of like playing tennis. Like you know, you're like my age, you're like 40 and you're like, oh, let's go play tennis for the first time. And you find out, hey, I love tennis. maybe. So let's take a look. We're gonna see what these tea leaves have to tell us. And full disclosure, I am doing this reading on Halloween. We're about to do trick-or-treating here pretty soon, but I am sugared up. I have had so much sugar today. I was baking and putting together candy packages and things, and oh, yeah. So I might be a little bit hyper. Okay, let's see. So if you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Okay, so it looks like we have the word cot, C-O-T, C-O-T, if that means anything. And I'm seeing that C-O-T right here. C is backwards, O-T. We also have the name Mary, M-A-R-Y, Mary. The name Mary coming through. We have something about the Wizard of Oz. We have the Scarecrow over here. Even in the same kind of scaredy cat posture, kind of hunched a little bit. We have what looks like a ram, an Aries, possibly. We might have somebody who, in your life, like you had to really stick up for them, look out for them. Maybe like a younger sibling or a good friend that you were always like, you know, protecting and that kind of thing. But I think that this really, it put you in this place of really being the keeper of others, right? And not like the gatekeeper, right? Like, or not like you are the boss or whatever. No, you look out for yours. You look out for your people. You look out for your community. You're not going to let any foul thing slide, right? You're right there. You're noticing. So you are somebody who is like a champion of others. Now, down here, it looks like, it almost kind of looks like we have some kind of, almost like a decluttering, a getting rid of, allowing yourself to let go of things that don't service you anymore. They're not of service to you. And I feel like part of this is guilt, but I almost feel like this is also a relationship. Okay, I almost feel like there's maybe somebody in your life who you have kept around because maybe there's history. Maybe you have felt like, well, this is like family, or we've always been friends. So I have to kind of, you know, overlook things and continue to be loyal. But I think at this point, there's just been so much over the years. And something has come to pass that really, I mean, it just teed you off. And that's what it comes down to, is I feel like you got really upset. And I don't think that you reacted right off the bat. Like, you know, you weren't like freaking out as this thing happened. But I think that the more time you thought about it, the angrier you kind of got. And I don't think it's like I want to go confront them. I feel like you are so angry, and I don't know about you, but this is me. If I confront you and talk to you, there's room for us to figure things out. But if I say kick rocks, I don't even say it. In my mind, I say kick rocks, dude, and I never talk to you again. That's like, you know, you did something unforgivable, or you did something I'm not willing to deal with, right? And I'm walking away. There's no room for this to be better. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at. I think that, you know, you just have had it. Fed up, not into it, not going to take the time. Now, I find this surprising, kind of, really, because you are somebody who is pretty soft-hearted. And I think it takes a lot for somebody to get you to this point. So I see this as this must have been a big betrayal. Now we also have the number 439. 439. And I see a real calling to plant a tree. This next season, well, if you're in the southern hemisphere, probably a pretty good time to plant a tree. But in the northern hemisphere, it's getting cold. So depending on what zone you're in, maybe waiting until spring. But we have a person up here next to a tree, right? And above them is the sun. So I feel like this is a place where going and finding, maybe researching what kind of tree might be beneficial in your environment. If you live in a place where you can't just plant trees, right? Like an apartment or whatever. Maybe finding a place where you could plant a tree. Maybe you know somebody who owns property, or you know, there's some kind of community garden, or, you know, whatever it is. But I think that for some reason this feels very meaningful to you. And I think that you actually have a very deep and psychic connection to trees in general. Which you might think, that's a weird thing to say, really. Who is connected to trees? Well, yeah, some of us are. I feel very connected to trees as well. Even since I was a young child, I used to go and talk to my trees every day. Not just like playing. I really did commune with them. And I actually named my daughter's name means tree or wood. And her actual two names, it means ecstatic tree. And so I think of this beautiful tree of life, full of, you know, life and creativity and all of the elements, all of the things. And so, yes, trees are, you know, if you are a person of the trees, and you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, and I'm not talking about plant medicine, I'm not like low-key trying to, that's not what I mean. But yeah, if you are somebody who communes with trees, right, then you know. And we also have, it looks like a union right here. We have the lovers, okay? And a balancing, it seems. It seems like things are starting to really come into a place that makes sense. There is a peace that is coming over the land, right? It's just kind of laying across the land. We also have the rooster up here. the rooster is a sign of an alarm kind of going off in our lives. But I don't think this is a bad one because we have next to it the 6, and below it, it looks like we have maybe the number 606 right here, 606, but we have a 6 up here. Oh no, 605 right here. Yeah, I see it. 605. We also have a 6 here. We have the rooster right here, and yeah, we have the person. With the fish. Okay. So I feel like this is more of an alarm going off like, hey, wake up. There's going to be an opportunity here for you. I feel like it has to do with work. Okay. Some kind of work, some kind of money to be made. And I feel like if you're not paying attention or you're not listening, you're not kind of reading between the lines with somebody in your life, you might miss this opportunity. It might be a thing where somebody mentions, oh yeah, we're doing this thing over here. We're working on whatever. It happens to be within your skill set, or maybe they need, somebody to like hop on the project or whatever. And you kind of put yourself out there and say, hey, if you have room, or hey, if you're willing to like interview me, or, whatever, yeah, then you would, if you weren't doing that, if you weren't paying attention, you would miss this opportunity for this job. But I think that this is going to be something that is lucrative because we have the fish up here, okay? And we have a person, it looks like, who is kind of coming for it. So I do see, over here going that way. Definitely collecting on this good fortune. Okay, so this looks like it will definitely smile upon you. Now, I want to kind of see if we have any clarity about that union, those two people together. Maybe the name Joe. J-O and E. Sometimes it's scrambly, but it's also a heart. So I almost wonder if there's like a love thing with somebody named Joe or somebody with a J name in general. It's like I, J, and me. Me, M-E. I, J, and me. So I kind of wonder if you do have a thing going with somebody with a J name, or if you have in the past. Maybe in the future, but it feels more like something that is established. Now, we also have a wishbone right here. Okay, so this is a good time to be manifesting because the wishbone really kind of indicates, yeah, your wish is going to come true here. Now, we have, it looks like some animals, looks like llamas, kind of, 3 of them. So I see like a happy little family. Now, if this is not the state of things for you right now, it feels like this is something that you are really, really working for, working towards. It's kind of just having your family unit together. Everybody happy, or at least in a place of feeling pretty good. Now, happiness is not something, it's not a destination. It's not a fixed state. It is a thing that comes and goes like anything else. So, ultimately, I feel like it's a sense of really wanting to be able to provide the life that you want, not only for yourself, but for those that you really love and care about. your spouse, your significant other, your partner, your children, maybe your mother, your father. But I do see this being kind of the real focus of this next period of time, even like the whole, like this next year. I could see you really kind of transitioning into this place of being quite involved with the comings and goings of the family. Okay. And that's not to say that you haven't been, but I think it's almost like a renewed passion to just really kind of try to get things more within the vision that you have, right? Like maybe, you know, here's like an example. Maybe you have been living in a house where you have like 2 kids, you're in a 2-bedroom house, and it's been your, you know, great desire in life to have more room for everybody. And so I could see like this renewal in passion to figure out, how are we going to get this done? How are we going to be able to manage this? And really kind of grinding towards that goal. Okay. Now, these are just examples. I like to give examples, not because I think you don't understand what I mean, but because for me, I need examples. I need practical, like, things to think about. Like, what are you saying, and how does it work in my life, or how could it? Or what is a situation that's, you know, somewhat relatable, so I can understand what kind of feelings might I be feeling, you know? So that's why I always do the examples. I know not everybody loves them, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's how I read. All right, so we're gonna do 3 lucky numbers. Number 5, lucky number 5. Oh, number 4. We have number 4, number 5. Number 51, which is funny because if you take the 1 from the 5, it's 4. So the universe is telling us lots of 4s, lots of 1s, lots of 5s. All right. These are our inner child oracle cards, and I'm just going to use them to kind of punctuate the reading. 14, flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. All right. Okay, well, Gemini, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really would help the channel so much. Any kind of engagement does. Also, what's the other thing? If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Totally. All right, I'm gonna go rally myself and get ready. It's snowing outside. It's not cold enough for it to stick, thankfully, but it's all wet and snowy. And I have to get all ready and in my zone so we can go trick-or-treating. All right, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Good night.